Hello, everyone.
Bonjour.
Bienvenue.
My name is Dungeon Mother Kir,
And I'm Lali.
and we are Femme and Fate.
Wait, was I supposed to say
Cue the theme music. You know, when Lali and I decided to do Femme and Fate, it was mainly because I think we didn't have enough representation of like people like us, and we were like, we want to do it, so we did it.
Yeah. So what is Femme Fate, by the way, for the uninitiated?
Oh, I like
What is
that
this?
term, uninitiated.
Yeah, because
We-
everybody is going to be a part of this cult at some point.
Oh my goodness, the cultings have begun.
The cultinings.
Okay, if you ask me what Femme and Fate is, it is a community-driven, community that
Is a community.
that is a community, and then at the end of it, it turns into
So
a
a
cult.
community.
Yeah, you explain it better. I'm.
You know, I think when we started this, the purpose really was to kind of create a platform for ourselves first.
yes,
In the
100%.
tabletop RPG gaming community. That's how we met, right? That's how we became friends. That's how we met.
Yes.
And when we first had that conversation about Femme and Fate, it was about focusing on women and minorities in this gaming space
100%.
in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So if you're tuning in from elsewhere in the world, hi, hello.
Salamat, Sajatra, and all that.
Yeah, that's where it really started. But I think it has turned into something else altogether.
No,
In a good way.
100%.
In a good way.
In the best
In the
of
best
ways,
way
yeah.
possible. It started as a platform for us. And now it really is something that we're thinking about as a community for a lot of other people to be a part of. And so a part of that, I think, was us figuring out how do we reach other people who are interested in what we do without outside of just like running games.
Yeah, because okay, so like I obviously got my start as a player, as most people do, right? I
did not, but
you know.
we'll get to me later. She's talking
Okay.
right now.
we get it. You're better. Sheesh. Yeah, but I was just a player. And I thought I could do a better job than the dungeon master that I was playing with, who happens to be my ex, but it's fine. And so I started, GMing, and I never thought it would be something that is now. So I started Dungeon Mother Kir, which is my like content account
Yes.
where I it's about me, my journey.
Follow Dungeon Mother Kir on Instagram, on TikTok, on Blue Sky. Where else are you? You're everywhere.
I don't know.
Everywhere.
It'll change, but
all over the place.
this whole shift in like life was mainly because we don't have enough here. There's not enough resources. There's not enough visibility. There's not enough everything and
Yeah.
community, because let's face it, it's hard enough to be a woman, all right, or a femme presenting in the gaming community. It's even harder when you're the color of this pillow.
Actually, oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, I mean that's why we started this,
Yep,
right? Because
yep,
we
yep,
both
yep.
share that feeling of like we want to do things, and we're so sick and tired of like waiting for the opportunity to
Yep.
come, and then we're just like, why don't we just do it
Why
ourselves?
don't we just do it?
So last year, why don't you tell them what we did last year? Yeah.
So I did not start as a player because I didn't know anybody who played. So I did the most logical thing, which is I Googled where I could buy a bunch of books. And for context, I was looking for Call of Cthulhu books, which are far less available than the more popular counterpart, which I shall not name right now because eventually we're going to talk about it. And I marched into a store and I spent over $500 in one sitting. Never played the game. Didn't know how it worked. Had no players. Had never run a game. Didn't have any dice. Didn't know when I was going to run a game. But I got the books and I read them and I watched a lot of YouTube videos and I ended up running them due to a series of various life events. Ended up working part-time at that game store where I had bought the books, where I had then the opportunity to game master professionally, which was like a crazy experience, right? Like people are now like paying to come play your games with you.
Dude, that is wild. I'm still like in disbelief because like, who am I?
Yeah.
But actually,
Yeah.
I am someone.
Yeah, you are.
Do you know what I mean?
You
Like,
are.
But that's
we all
what,
somebody.
That's why we're doing this.
Some people are more somebodies than others. But we're all somebody.
Philosophy.
Anyway, through all of this, because you briefly worked at the store as well.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where this whole thing started.
Yeah,
right? Because
and the gaming world is really not that big. So
no,
eventually,
it's tiny. I mean, especially here, where we have like basically a few stores and a few groups, but where again, I know we're just gonna we sound like broken records, but it's visibility, honestly, that made us do this.
Like Kira and I saw each other and we were just like, that Spider-Man meme where they're just like, oh. Yeah, it's just the two of us, guys. If the rest of you are out there, please come find us. I was like, please. But we saw each other and then we just ended up talking, befriending each other, getting to know each other. And all that just culminated after a couple of experiences, not that great experiences, to be honest. But out of some kind of negative stuff, something really beautiful was born.
I mean, that's how the best things kind of happen, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, after our live show last year and like making something out of nothing, which was crazy, right, Lali?
That's never been done.
It's
no
literally
template.
No, nothing. We just figuring it out. We did it at Mother Kir. Shout out to Mother Kir, by the way. Totally love the place. They have live
Support
shows.
local.
Support local. But we were like, what are we gonna do now? And we took literally the entire second half of the year just trying to figure out what Femme Fate is, what we want to do with Femme Fate, because we didn't just want to do one. We're not like one hit wonders, we want to build something bigger, and it might take a while. It might, it'll go through its ups and downs, but that's where we thought, one thing Lali and I are good at is yapping.
However, when we decided that we wanted to record the yap, there were some important considerations, because I would argue there are parts of a yap that will probably get us sent to jail. But there's other parts that are very inspiring, maybe, or entertaining, or knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I think, and we were talking about this earlier, it really is, I think, just showing up as you are without overthinking things so much to such a high degree. It's also just an opportunity for content. It's an opportunity to share opinions.
And we're creatives, right? So we want to create things. And I think both of us were just like, we got to stop talking about what we want to do and just do it and figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
So we have some very exciting news about what Femme Fate is up to this year and what we're going, the pathway that we're going down. And
we do?
Yeah, we do. We literally just filmed last week. Shout out to Kopi Studios, KOEPII Studios. You can find them on Instagram, but they kindly let us use their space to film the pilot,
which is amazing.
The trial, and we recorded a live play podcast.
Yes. What? So if you've seen or heard of things like Critical Role or Dimension 20, or some of my favorites like Mystery Quest, Norrell's Bard, we are doing our own version of that. And I believe we might be the first in Southeast Asia, not even Malaysia. Do you know any others in Southeast Asia?
I mean, I don't, but if you guys are out there, let's link up, because you know,
guys, we don't want to be the only players. We are not interested in being the only winners.
Where are you?
When I'm so sorry.
That's the whole point of this, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this, is to find people, like-minded people, to build the community, and also to give us some representation from the other side of the world, y'all. There is so much content, there's so much visibility outside of Asia and Southeast Asia for TTRPGs.
Yep.
But not a lot of content from here, and not a lot of people who look like us.
And tell our stories.
Yes.
And are preoccupied with platforming and focusing on people who are different, in different languages, with different histories.
100%.
And that's always been what's so crazy to me about the tabletop gaming world, right? is the utter lack of imagination. Like, okay, guys, here's the thing. If you have no idea what we're talking about, if you're like, what? Did I just stumble on this video of these like two weirdos sitting in the dark, drinking beer out of
You're not supposed to know it's beer, lah. Like.
All of tabletop role-playing is about telling a collective story. It's all
Yes.
made up. It's all made up. And yet the utter lack of imagination in a lot of what we have encountered really led us also to take this path. I would have loved to have come to this hobby as a player first, honestly. I really would have. But I think one of the amazing things that has happened is coming to it as a game master first, or in my case, keeper of arcane lore, storyteller for Vampire the Masquerade, whatever you want to call it, is that I'm so aware what the potential is off the get-go. You know, and having consumed so much like content.
Yeah. It's like you
it's
consume
different.
enough, and I mean, everyone's experience is different. But what I love about what we're doing here is that we're creatives doing something creative.
Yes.
You know, like that was the whole thing. Like Lali and I both come from creative backgrounds. Ironically, we both come from a music background.
Yep.
But
storytelling,
yeah.
performance, props, art, it's all a part of what we do.
It
Writing.
is. We're like
books.
makers. We
Yes.
do things, right?
Yes.
And this is an outlet for us to do it, and then not like have it just disappear into thin
Into
air.
the ether.
Yeah, but like have it kind of like out there, because I don't know, maybe.
Oh my god, I never thought about it that way. That is so smart.
Yeah, because like that's the whole point, right? We want
We
to.
should put that in our mission statement, since we don't know how to. No, it's true.
That's the
because
thing, 'cause-
running games is amazing,
Yeah.
but it is ephemeral. It's in the moment,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it great.
Yeah.
But what else is sustained for us, like as a community and as
Yeah.
gamers
And
and
then-
as yeah,
And this whole thing, what like community, right? We're gonna keep talking about, because we're a cult. In case you didn't listen to the first part of this podcast, but it's because we didn't have that.
nope.
We don't have that here.
In honestly, not just in gaming, in everything.
In a lot of things,
In theater,
yeah.
in music, for me in DJing, also in music,
we don't have
in
this,
art, like
a healthy representative community that encapsulates what we want to do, and also just has a positive, outlet for us, right?
and our value system of truth and integrity, and not pandering to the lowest common denominator of.
Man, sorry.
So I think that brings us to the end of our very first
Before we get
episode. Cancel before our very first episode.
Okay. Well, we gotta
ends.
cheers. We
We're
gotta
gonna
cheers.
By the way, this is our beautiful logo. If you come to any of our events, you get a free sticker.
yes,
Free 99, my favorite. So
what? Free 99.
free 99. Have you never heard of that before? Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
There's so much that's coming. We're so excited. And thank you for watching us yap.
Or
Because
listening
we're never gonna stop.
Never gonna stop.
Never gonna stop. Cheers.